Welcome, Ian Maatsen to Aston Villa. What a signing this season. What a statement of intent from Aston Villa. Absolutely love it. Left back joining Aston Villa from Chelsea. Like we've said before, wealth of experience across the Champions League final, which is absolutely incredible. So on this episode, what we're going to do, we're going to take a good look at all of the key attributes that I've found of Ian Maatsen and how I feel like he can suit and adapt to this Aston Villa side. And I'm not just talking about an out-and-out left-back. I'm seeing progressive development that could possibly happen in an Aston Villa shirt, something that we haven't seen from our left-backs under Unai Emery so far. So get a drink, tea, coffee, beer, celebrate. Let's go. Let's have a look at some of Ian Maatsen's biggest attributes then. So we're going to do it through images. So first of all, what we've got here is Ian Maatsen getting into an attacking area, offering that attacking output. Now, we know under Unai Emery that our left backs actively act as wingers, and the right back tends to stay at home a little bit more. We can be versatile, we can adapt, we can allow the right back to go a little bit further forward, but generally the left back acts as more of a winger. Now, what Aston Villa currently have within our defensive setup on our left-hand side is we have Lucas Digne and we have Moreno. And if I was to look at both players, I would say Lucas Digne is a little bit better defensively. He's got a good left foot. He can get into good areas. He can put good balls into the box. And then I would say Moreno is more of an attacking, zippy, sort of likes to get forward. But defensively, I wouldn't say he's as strong. I would say Maatsen merges the two together and becomes that complete, well-rounded player. That's no disrespect to Lucas Digne or Moreno. That's just my thoughts on Ian Maatsen. I think he merges both players together, and hopefully in this episode, I can show you how those attributes will all be merged together. So this is him getting into an attacking area. He scores from here. So, you know, great finish from this distance. But you can see from that left-hand side, he can get forward and he can get into the box as well. That's something that I think we couldn't get enough of last season. If you looked at the average positions of Lucas Digne, it was sort of like 5-10 yards inside the opposition half, where ideally, if they're offering the width, we want them to be a little bit further forward. So next up, we have got the ball recoveries. Now, this is ball recoveries against Camavinga. So this is one of Ian Maatsen's biggest attributes in his ability to recover and win back the ball. But already we can see that he's pretty high. He's winning that ball back. He's coming from a defensive area to come and get that ball back. And his tenacious nature of being hungry and wanting to win this ball is something that I think Aston Villa will be able to relish. The desire to win that ball back. I think at times we can be a good pressing team under Emery, but I think the players that we've been linked with, Gallagher, Maatsen, they're pressing machines. They want to win that ball back. They want that ball back as quickly as possible. And I think you start adding players that want to win the ball back, then it doesn't allow the opposition sides much time to get set. So for me, I'm loving this area of his game. Again here, 50-50s. He gets stuck in. He slides in. He wants to win those duels. So that is also another area that I think he does really well. Again, duels, winning them, attacking, being brave as well. Not allowing this player to be able to get set. He doesn't really want to like jockey too much. He just wants to go straight in, win the ball, not let that attacker set, and that's all part of his game as well. Another big part of his game, and we see this with Ezri Konsa. So imagine this now. We've got Ezri Konsa on the right-hand side, who can just win those 1v1 duels. We know that Konsa is one of the best defenders in the Premier League at winning those 1v1s. Maatsen, on the opposite side, he also loves to win those 1v1 duels. So 1v1 defending is an area that he really relishes, that battle. And majority of the time, he's coming out on top. He's winning those duels. He's winning those battles. He's winning those 1v1s. And he's just fantastic in these scenarios. So really, really good defensive player, but also has got the capabilities to be very good going in the opposite direction as well. Another key attribute to his game is his vision and his ability to ping passes, to find players, to play those long balls, to be brave, to hit those long balls from deep with accuracy. And this is also an area of his game that I think is very, very good. You can see him here just getting on that ball, getting on that, floating them balls, them cross-field balls. And that's also one of his big attributes as well. But here is the big one. And this is one that I think Villa fans should be slightly excited by. So the big one for me is an area that I think could transform our system and the way that we play. Maatsen can step up and move into central and midfield areas. This could potentially be a bit of a game changer for Villa. And I'm not trying to get in Unai's brain. Well, I'm trying to a little bit. But I think it could be an area that could transform our system and give us different options and different variations. So by moving into those central areas, what it could possibly do is enable our defence to sometimes look a little bit more like this. So with Maatsen going into that midfield area through there and working in this position, it could allow us to have an out-and-out winger on this side. So potentially we could see a Diaby out there. We could see more of a Morgan Rogers out there instead of having to play in those central areas. So for me, I've seen it. I've spotted it. I've seen Maatsen. He's comfortable at playing in this area here. He's not afraid to pop up on the ball here. Can move around. We know that he can get on there. He can get those crossfield balls going. We know he's got great vision, but we also know that he can occupy this space here. So if not going into those central areas, we know that he can potentially just be in those areas. Everybody will be shuffling across, double pivot, midfielder through there, striker dropping into there, wide player, and then you'll have Maatsen through there. But I've spotted that this guy can play in those central areas. So comfortable at driving with the ball in central midfield. We also got another image here. Again, he's here. He's in central midfield. Think of the Trent role a little bit. So this is something that I think possibly we could be working. Look at this guy here. He wants the ball and he said no. So that's just an observation, but I think it's another key attribute to Maatsen that just adds to the overall package. Versatility, ability to play in midfield, but all those attributes on defending as well are just top quality. So Villa fans, if I were you, I'd be absolutely over the moon with this. I'd be absolutely buzzing because we have got a brilliant player coming to our football club, and I am over the moon for it. So up the Ian Maatsen, up the Villa.